Master, smiling. I know why you scold your children. You only threaten them. The brahmachari said to the snake, "You are a fool indeed. I forbade you to bite, but not to hiss. Your enemies would not have beaten you if you only had hissed at them." Your scolding of the children is really a hissing. Dvija's father smiles. A good son is an indication of his father's spiritual nature. If good water comes out when a reservoir is dug, it only indicates the virtue of the owner. A son is called Atmaja, the self-reborn. There is no difference between you and your son. In one way, you yourself are reborn as your son. In one sense, you are a worldly person, working in a business office and enjoying worldly life. In another sense, you are a devotee of God in the form of your son. I heard that you were a very worldly person, but now I find it isn't so. Smiling. You know all this. I understand that you are very circumspect. Perhaps that is why you are nodding your assent to what I am saying. Dvija's father smiles. If your children visit this place, they will be able to know what you really are. How precious one's father is. If a person deceives his father and mother in order to seek religion, he gets only worthless trash. A man is born with several debts. Debts to his father, the devas, and the rishis. Besides, there is his debt to his mother. He also has a debt to his wife. She must be supported. If the wife is chaste, the husband must provide for her after his death. I could not live at Vrindavan on account of my mother. When I remembered that my mother was living in the temple garden here at Dukhineshwar, I could not feel peaceful at Vrindavan. I ask people to live in the world and at the same time fix their minds on God. I don't ask them to give up the world. I say, fulfill your worldly duties and also think of God. Dvija's father. I tell my children that they should attend to their studies. I don't forbid them to come to you, but I don't want them to waste time in frivolities with the youngsters. Master, referring to Dvija. This boy must have been born with some good tendencies. Why are the two other brothers different from him? Why is he alone spiritually minded? Will you be able to compel him not to visit this place? Sooner or later, everyone unfolds his inborn tendencies. Dvija's father. Yes, that is true. Sri Ramakrishna came down from the couch and sat on the floor beside Dvija's father. While talking with him, he touched him now and then. It was nearly evening. Sri Ramakrishna asked M and the others to show Dvija's father the temples. He said to them, I should have accompanied him myself if I were well. He asked someone to give sweets to the young men and said to Dvija's father, let the children have a little refreshment. It is customary. Dvija's father visited the temples and the images and took a stroll in the garden. Sri Ramakrishna engaged happily in conversation with Bhupen, Dvija, M, and others on the southeast porch of his room. He playfully slapped Bhupen and M on the back. He said to Dvija with a laugh, how I talk to your father. Dvija's father returned to Sri Ramakrishna's room after dusk. He intended to leave shortly. He was feeling hot. Sri Ramakrishna fanned him himself. In a few minutes, the father took leave of the master. Sri Ramakrishna stood up to bid him farewell.